This is the DNA Pest Control Podcast with your hosts, Daniel and Anthony.
All right. We are back at the DNA Pest Control Podcast. We have a special guest today. It's been forever.
It's been forever.
Oh, who's that?
It's the A in DNA.
There we go. Anthony is back.
I am back.
And
for good.
He is ready to get some people fired up.
Yeah. So my absence has been due mostly to, I would say, the pandemic.
Yes.
And I've been running a route pretty full time. We haven't had much time to do the podcast, also in part because of social distancing and everything like that. But I'm back, and I got a word for you guys out there. Or I got a couple words, actually.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about why the pest control industry is the best industry.
And it is.
Well, why would you say that?
Well, first of all, let's get this out of the way, is that you technicians out there that continue to take advantage of clients, that continue to cut corners, that continue to be, lazy out there, you guys are bad for the industry. And I'm just going to say it straight up. Now, if you're listening, I'm not going to say sorry. What I'm going to say is you need to change up. You got to fix it.
Firing shots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right from the get-go.
Well, because this pandemic proves it. First of all, we're essential. We're lucky, I would say, to still be working. There's so many people out there that are unemployed, not working. And if you're still going to take advantage of it and cut corners and half-ass someone's service because you want to be, a privileged person who drives around in a work vehicle and wants to cut corners, I don't like that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you have every reason not to.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, and it's like we're here, like the amount of smiles I see from the clients that aren't wearing masks and how happy they are for a pest control technician to show up to their home, it's awesome. It makes you feel great. Like I look at this whole industry completely different now. It's like we're like a friend to these people and, the clients and everything like that. And it's like, why are you going to cut the corners and take advantage of it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, even my experience yesterday going to a gas station that had a dead rat actually inside, and I got to pull that rat out, and I did it all that same day, which was, pretty lucky for them because a lot of guys wouldn't. And actually what I did for them was pretty huge. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I was inside a shelf, okay? So it was a whole coffee stand. I was underneath that shelf sweating because they did not have AC going on in there.
Yeah.
And I was putting my arm back behind. Mind you, I was not in technician clothes, okay?
Oh,
yeah, that's the worst part. I was in shorts and a polo.
People were like, who's this guy?
Oh, they looked at me. When I walked in, they were staring at me like, who are you? Why do you have a bucket? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, okay, he's coming in.
Were you like, I'm here to fill up on soda?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Bucket.
No, I just kind of stared at them blankly for a minute, and they figured it out. But no, they were super happy that I got there, and I ended up cleaning out a ton of garbage behind this thing.
Yeah.
Sticking my arm back in, smelling a dead rat. It was just terrible, but it was awesome. At the end of it, they're like, yeah, take whatever you want.
Yeah, they gave me a soda before.
Yeah. Super happy I was there. So I do agree with you. Don't cut corners.
Yeah. And then here's my message out there to all technicians, man, because I'm a full-time route technician myself. I do commercial, apartments, residential, whatever you can think of. My main thing is just please, I know you could get burnt out or whatever, but just keep at it, keep doing your best, go above and beyond, because our clients deserve it. And it's times like this that when they see their technician show up and he's going to bust his ass at their home and greet them with the best customer service, it just helps out our entire society. Whatever community you're in, you're just going to help it out. If you show up in a bad mood with your headphones blaring music, you don't even want to say hi to the client, you're not, you're cutting corners, you're not removing webs a lot, you're spraying like, a jerk off. It's not going to, you're just giving the industry a bad rap, and also you're just not doing your part of the bargain,
Yeah. No, I agree 100% with that, guys. You need to step up. You need to be there. And if you don't like it, obviously get out of the industry.
Yeah.
You don't have to be here.
Now, and obviously most of you probably do that. You know, I mean, I've taken houses that have had other services before, and the house looks great. I'm like, well, you know, this guy was doing his job.
Yeah.
But there is a select few out there of, you know, people, technicians that do that, and it's just, please stop doing it. Go find a new industry. If you want to drive around a work truck, you know, go deliver for FedEx or UPS or something. If you don't want to talk to clients, and, you know, go above and beyond, because our industry is to go above and beyond and take care of our clients.
Yeah, you know, and honestly, before this whole pandemic even happened, if you were ever guessing if this industry was a good industry, because, you know, you never realize it until shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Once everything starts going crazy, that's when you actually get to realize, is my industry the best? Is it really that good? Is it recession proof? Is it pandemic proof? And I think we got to see that from here, because, you know, right when this whole thing happened, my brother-in-law called. How's everything going over there? Are you okay? Are you good? Are you losing clients? Are people canceling like crazy? No.
Yeah.
None of that happened. We didn't have to shut down. He actually had to shut down his office for 2 weeks, or longer. I don't even know how long he had to shut down.
Yeah.
He was running at like 40% or less. He told a huge group of his guys, "Hey, go just get unemployment. We're not working."
Yeah.
And so, you know, here we didn't have to do that, to the point of just this last, you know, week or two. We've had so many calls, so many estimates. We've grown, you know, that it really proves, you know, we're pretty solid industry. We're not going anywhere if you do your quality work.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't, if you're just being one of the bums out there, you know, you're kind of putting a bad name on the company, unfortunately, and eventually they're just going to cancel out your route, and they're going to have to consolidate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's one thing a lot of people don't realize, is if you are cutting corners, you're wearing a uniform. You're wearing a uniform from a certain company. So, you know, you're making not only yourself look bad, you're making the company look bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's been times where, you know, we've taken over, you know, clients from other companies, and nothing against them. And I've even had people complain about that company, and I'll even tell them, hey, you probably just had a bad tech.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the whole company's that way, because there's obviously good technicians out there. But there are the ones that will, you know, take advantage of that system. And unfortunately, that's out there, and it's out there a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, yeah, and the industry in itself it's just such a solid thing, because think about it. Rats aren't going anywhere. Bed bugs aren't. Roaches aren't. And even if this pandemic was a little bit worse, and I'm not wanting it to be worse at all by any means, but
no, not at all.
We'd still be there. There's still going to be rats. You know, if people need to stay in their home and they're hearing rats in the walls, who are they going to call? They're not going to call a plumber. They're going to call us, you know?
Yep.
So we are set in stone. And I do know that maybe 80%, 90% of your work may be just running a residential route. You might not be doing the quote unquote essential work that the industry gets the leeway for. But even then, you still might run into it, and you still are the face of the industry. So I say, you know, act like you're the essential worker you are.
Well, we are. I mean, if you honestly break it down, you know, talking on being, you know, essential, pandemic proof, recession proof, take away the pest control industry. If you can imagine it, you know, what would that be like if you actually took all the technicians out, you removed all the pest control? It would be crazy out there.
It would. No, the first thing, no one would live in an apartment.
No.
They would.
Everyone would move. They'd get out of there.
No one would ever. If people would rather be homeless than to live with roaches, a lot of people will. And it's like, then you'd have apartments that would have maintenance guys go in there with like Raid or something. And
Oh yeah.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah, it would be bad. But then, I mean, even that, I mean, look at rodents.
Yeah.
I mean, you take out the, you know, the bait stations that we're doing, the traps. I mean, how many rats we've picked up. I mean, you can only imagine what it'd be like. I mean, they have videos out in, it's back east somewhere, where rats are literally running the streets crazy because all the restaurants were shut down.
Yeah.
And so these things, they actually came out with this whole article saying they were gangs. So these gangs of rats started taking over territory.
They're having wars to eat each other.
Yeah, they were eating each other because it was that. Yeah. So, I mean, if you took out actually our industry, you know, it would be crazy.
Yeah.
It would not, society would not function the same way.
Well, You're right about not the same way, but people may adapt, and living with a rat that has a couple of cockroaches on its back in your home may be the new normal.
No, yeah, I promised you. I mean, if it did go away, someone would eventually sell a service to take care of those things.
Yeah, it's just natural. It's since the just the beginning of time. I mean, if you go all the way back to like the Black Plague, they had dogs that were trained to be ratters and stuff like that. There's always been some form of controlling pests that were plaguing society.
Yeah, well, and that's why guys, just remember, that take pride in it.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it before, you can see it now. People are happy to see you. People are excited. I had the opportunity to be in the office a lot more and getting those phone calls, asking if we're still open and available to come out. People saying, can you come out to my house? Making sure that we can, even though there was a shelter in place, we were able to go out there and help them, and they were ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
So, make sure you take pride in it.
Oh, yeah. And I know I've been more on a solemn topic of, bashing people, and I want to be in a more positive light right now of this is an awesome job. And, whether you're a technician, office worker, or manager or owner, this industry is just awesome. It's ever changing. There's always new things to learn. And like we were saying earlier, it's recession and pandemic proof. It's a solid job, man.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and the next point that we have is it's high satisfaction.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you guys haven't been getting it, it's probably because you haven't been doing a good job.
Right.
But
you probably need to find a new job if you're not being satisfied.
Find a new job. But it is high satisfaction if you're doing the right job, if you're doing it correctly, if you take pride in your work.
Yeah.
No one, I know we were talking about it before, but no one's going to walk into a store and you're not going to pat some dude on the back saying, hey, thanks for restocking the shampoo. I really needed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't care that, you just expect that. But when you have a rat inside your wall that's dead, or underneath the house, we come pick it up. That's a whole different story.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So there's a huge satisfaction. Now we do go through those streaks. If you're just a regular residential tech, you're running through, you might not have that high satisfaction of people, super excited to see you because they don't have any bugs.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, they are, and they are actually really happy. At least on the office side of things, we probably hear it a lot more than the technicians hear it.
Yeah.
Of how grateful they are. So.
Well, one thing too is that before I started working in the pest control industry, I was a warehouse worker. I drive a forklift, move pallets around, move boxes around, and I dreaded waking up to get to that job. Given I was waking up at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, that would suck.
But also there wasn't any rewarding, features from that job. It was show up for your 8 hours, move X amount of pallets around, and that's your job. And there's no. And I'm not bashing on warehouse work at all, but I just didn't feel the satisfaction I feel waking up to this job. I've been really busy since the pandemic started, and it's like I'm not getting slowed down one bit. I don't feel not 1 inch of burnout. I'm ready to go 7 days a week if I have to, because it feels awesome going to see the clients. And I was telling you earlier, it's like every day's a Saturday. Everyone's home.
Yeah, everyone gets to see you.
Yeah.
I've seen a ton of people. They've even said, "Oh, you've probably never seen me before."
Yeah, there's there's a lot of new faces of houses I've been doing for like 2 years. I'm like, well, I get to finally see you now.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And then, bring it to the next. I mean, with all the satisfaction we get, there's a lot of security in this job. That, once again, I think a lot of guys oversee and overlook that.
Yeah,
the job security. Because the industry's not going anywhere, because society can't really live without us, your job's not necessarily going to disappear.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Well, a lot of technicians get complacent pretty much of, you get comfortable. This becomes normal. And sadly, what happens is you start to get, not lazier, but the normal, you start to move more in the motion. You start to go with the flow. And complacency is a killer in this industry because it's, like I said, ever changing. There's always new methods you got to do. You don't want to show up to a house with ants and then just spray stuff for spiders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. But then I even see, because, speaking, of my brother-in-law, he had traffic controllers, and that was the big majority of them that he sent home.
Yeah.
So when you think of, construction right now, oh, construction's really good, for the moment. Once recession hits, once people start tightening down, they don't buy houses anymore. They don't buy that stuff. And so suddenly construction starts to dwindle and your job security is gone.
Yeah.
Same in the warehouse industry. Luckily, a huge majority of them were still open. But if they had to shut down, because they were too close working or the state came in, you're done.
Yeah.
There's no security there that you can't keep going. We work alone. So really, there's nothing that comes in to play when, something like this happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
What are you laughing about?
Because your mic stand started moving.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, dude. Because you told me how flimsy these might be. And then I'm like, what if that thing just fell over in the middle of his speech?
Oh, yeah.
But no, see, that's the the comedic break we needed from. But I agree 100% with you of that. Yeah, there is a lot of job security with us. Now you see how important also, and this is on a different topic, how important people that work at, say, Walmart, Target, all these retail grocery stores, how important they are. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, I do think they do I think it is an important job. I think every job is important.
Well, every job needs to be filled.
Yeah, no. So, I won't say, we've bashed on a bunch of different industries.
Yeah, we do a lot, actually. We bash on I was listening to one of our podcasts, and all it was bashing.
Yeah, hey, it's fun.
And our Free Talk Friday is going to be a lot of bashing, too, next one.
Yeah, get ready for that one.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think everybody needs to take pride in their job. I think everybody needs to fulfill that space. And there's actually one guy that I do like. He has a podcast. It's Andy Frisella. Guys, go listen to him if you have nothing else to do. He's not paying me to say this.
Well, what's it called, the podcast?
He just
he
just changed it.
Oh.
It was called the MF CEO.
Uh-huh.
The mother effing CEO.
There you go.
But he's very real with it, but he talks about the importance of taking pride in your job and doing everything correctly. So I do think, what you're saying about those other industries, I think every position is crucial.
Yeah.
But people just don't take pride. They just don't know how to enjoy their job or their position at that time.
But even then, you can relate all that to our industry. Say you're listening to this and you're a technician that all you're doing is you're running a residential route. And that's all you do 5 days a week.
Yeah, which, mind you, there's a ton of guys who love that.
Yeah, everyone loves that. I was talking to a tech a couple days ago, and he's just like, all he wants to do is just do that, run a residential route. He doesn't want to doesn't want to do anything else.
No, there's more pressure when you do other things.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Because now you're making what I was going to say a little less cool. But
sorry.
I was going to say take pride in that, man. If
absolutely.
you're just running a route,
Yep.
Because I would say I run a full residential route on top of apartments and commercial. And, some guys don't get to do that. They don't get that break. But even then, if you're not getting that break away from residentials, there's this pride in that. You're doing what you have to do. If you're not doing that, there's black widows around someone's home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then their kids or their pets are at danger. And if you're like, well, I've done this house 98 times already. I have 49 years experience. I'm 23. And it's like, okay, I get that part. But look, black widows are a huge pest, and you're getting rid of, wolf spiders, jumping spiders, big cockroaches around the home. What you're doing, unless you're not, unless you're half-assing it and you're one of those guys that we got fired up about earlier, which I hope you're not listening.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you to. I want you to change up and then come listen.
Well, they're probably not listening.
Or how about you go listen to our other episodes?
There you go. Start at 1.
Yeah. Start all the way at 1 and then learn how to become a good tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a lot to say about it, and especially about them. And I am going to say them because they're in their own category.
They are. And they ruin the fun for the rest of us, the good technicians.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They unfortunately do. But that goes really well with if you're a good technician, if you're doing what you do, at the best level, you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing. You're gonna get paid, with the benefits, just the basic benefits that most companies already give. That truck, You get a phone.
Yeah.
Most of the time you get a truck and you get a phone. I don't know what all the companies do out there. If you have to go pick it up or whatever.
Well, yeah, I know we're going to start harping on the benefits, but like let's say you do get to take the truck home. That is the biggest thing. You're saving so much on gas, even though right now it's pretty cheap.
It is. That's so nice.
But you're also saving on car maintenance on top of the gas. And on top of it, you have a guaranteed way to work and a guaranteed way back to work. You don't have to worry about insurance for your personal vehicle like roadside, even though you still need it. I'm not saying don't have it.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about your rates going up. And it's just, I would say the phone, maybe it might be not like a personal phone, but it is a phone, you know?
Yeah. Well, some people, you know, I think a lot of younger people focus a lot on that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so how many people have, you know, a brand new iPhone?
Yeah. Everyone, right? It's only like $30 a month.
Well, if you can actually even get it, if you have a good credit.
Well, my wife just got the new iPhone X something.
The new one, the 11?
I don't know, maybe
the SE, the iPhone SE.
I think so, but it's like $30-something a month. I'm like, wow, they just let you get it, even though you're paying out the butt for interest. But
no, they don't charge you interest.
Really?
We'll talk about that afterwards. They shouldn't be. Who are you with? T-Mobile?
I don't. She's with Verizon.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know. Oh, we just got sidetracked there for a minute.
We did.
Yeah. So
back to the industry. Phone truck. Yeah.
Insurance, depending on your company.
And hey, this is for. Don't tell your bosses this.
You
got a lot of products that you're taking home. That you can maybe spray in your home every now and then. Who's gonna know?
Well, I'm sure everyone can spray their own home.
I don't do it. I've probably done it twice.
You know, I think I've knocked on an owner when I used to door to door and I was selling pest control. I knocked on an owner's door.
Yeah.
And I was pitching the wife, and she's like, "We own our own company."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You do?" Because there's webs everywhere. I mean, it was terrible. But I looked at it, I was like, "You like really? No, you're lying." And she's like, "No, we do."
Yeah.
And I just look up at all the spider webs. I'm like, "Oh, okay. All right. Well, you have a good one." Just blown away. But I don't think a lot of people do it. I mean, you do it every day. So why do it on your own house?
I do weed control around my house.
That's smart.
Yeah. And I secretly use the product provided by, the company.
Hey, use it because we got a ton of it. So I think the benefits behind it are pretty decent as well. Yeah. To where it's nice. I mean, you do have everything you need to literally get to and from work, spending almost nothing. All the money that you earn is going straight to your pocket.
Well, and here's the thing: if you're packing your own lunch, but if you fall under a thing to where you're constantly going to a gas station to get snacks, drinks, or you're going through drive-through, then yes, it adds up. But if you're not doing that, you're gonna save so much money.
Well, that's in I think that's every job or every position,
Yeah.
But if you have to drive to work and drive home from work, a lot of people don't add that gas up. But I had a kid who was actually looking, to work here, and he was working for a guy doing pools or something, concrete. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But he was spending almost $300 to $400 a month on gas alone. Yeah. That's just money out of his pocket directly.
Well, what is he driving? Some big truck?
No. It was a car, but he had to drive all the way out to Fairfield. He had to drive super far, to these locations. Yeah. And then midday, the guy would say, "Okay, we're done here. We're going to go to another one."
Mm-hmm.
And they would all have to hop in their personal vehicles and go drive that distance. And
so was his boss paying for gas?
No, that's what I'm telling you. No,
that's terrible.
No. There's no gas involved.
Wow.
But that's like a lot of people who go out to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And they're driving their vehicle out to the Bay Area,
yeah.
To make $5 more. Just stay in, you might as well stay in Sacramento. There's no reason to drive all the way out there to make a little bit more extra money.
Right.
You're spending way too much in time and gas.
Yeah. No, that's true. I knew a guy that was commuting from Woodland to Oakland every morning.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
I would never do that. I mean, unless they were paying me for gas and time, everything, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way that I'd do that. But, that's the benefit here. You do get all of those things all tied into one. where it's not bad. You don't have to drive clear out to some warehouse, like you did out in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Every morning, every evening.
Same time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy when you actually add up the time. I'll just throw in this real quick because I did it. So where I live to the office, when it's normal traffic, it's about 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I just did a median of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So me driving to the office every day, and I do that 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So I put 6 days a week.
And it's one day, right?
It's 13 days in a year.
A year.
2 weeks. 13 days that I lose out of my life just driving to an office.
Well, for me, it was 24 hours a month. So one full day a month, pretty much, I was driving.
That's about right. Yeah, so about 13 days.
And I'm not getting paid
days.
for it, and I'm paying for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so, and you don't, that's not even adding on, gas on top of that. But just the time alone is so much. But, guys, the benefit of that is, you get the truck, you get a phone, you get all that stuff taken care of. If something breaks, something happens, it's not you. You just hop into another vehicle.
It's all you.
And you keep going.
Yeah.
So the benefits there are awesome. But the industry is not going anywhere either.
It's not.
So,
well, another major benefit. I mean, we just spent 98 minutes talking about the truck.
I know.
And some guys might not even get to take it home. They're like, I gotta drive to work.
I gotta go pick it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're your own boss, but you're in charge of your day. You're out there by yourself. It's all you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. There's no one micromanaging you. At least I hope not.
Yeah.
But which. I've heard stories of micromanaging from the office to a technician, which sucks. But I mean, you are, at the end of the day, you're on your own out there. You're in charge of getting that day done, and it's all you.
Yeah. Now, obviously, when it does come to those benefits of like micromanaging, things like that, you do have to pick the right company.
Yep.
You have to make sure that the culture fit is there, and be smart about that, guys. Don't just jump on because you're like, oh my gosh, these guys are talking about money and you get to take the truck home and I don't have to spend gas and all this stuff. And then you find a company that you absolutely hate because some dude's riding your ass.
Yeah.
It's just not a good fit. So find that company that is going to be a good fit, that is going to be okay for you and that's going to work with you because I'm right there, with Anthony. I love the freedom of being out in the truck. And I've had that opportunity this past 2 weeks is to be out in the truck. I can throw in my headphones. I can listen to whatever I want. And I'm just in that rhythm of helping people out, getting the jobs done, just moving through my day. I get to see a bunch of different places, which is awesome. I love driving, to be honest with you. And so it's relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It is relaxing on those days where it's a little bit more spread out. I personally like that, to where I can drive a little bit more. Yeah. I like those days.
No, 100%. Like, I don't mind ever, like, it's, driving 45 minutes out. You're in that new little community, new faces, everything like that. But I do want to brush up on something you brought up about finding a new job. Of our industry is so unique that there's a million choices out there for you to pick from.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like, say, who's going to deliver your goods, FedEx or UPS. It's not like that at all. It's literally, I have 98 different companies in the area I could pick from. Yeah. It is a weird industry and they're all solid. They're all, super solid foundation. Now some might have that micromanaging manager or, they might have, you have to drive to pick up the truck, but find one that fits best for you.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. There are a lot of options out there. That is the nice thing. And each one has their own different little style. And that's something I'll throw out there real quick, guys, for everybody. If you are planning on switching companies or you have switched a ton, I'm going to tell you right now is when you do switch, learn their ways of how they do things. Yeah. Don't say, some dude who had 80 years of experience when I first started taught me this way and that's how I'm always going to do it. Yeah. Don't fall into that because you're going to be hitting that door right back out again. Yep. Just as fast as you got in.
I would say I have a very funny analogy about the pest control industry itself and how you should treat each house.
All right, let's hear it.
I like to say each house is like a gate leading to the backyard. They're all different. They're all unique. Some are broken. Some you got to kind of push around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some might be locked.
Yeah.
Some might be, you don't know what the hell's going on with the gate.
Yep.
And some gates might just be, on the floor.
Wide open.
Yeah. Or open. Yeah. And the reason why I like that little analogy is it's pretty true of like, if you're not approaching each house like it's a unique gate to open, which most of them are. Let's face it, a lot of them are the same. A lot of them are different. It's funny how the gates work.
Yep.
But you got to do that with your service. You can't get caught in your ways of getting taught by, the legendary technician of the Eastern Breezeway or something. You got to be willing to change and even say, and if you guys are listening, it's not that, the D and the A are saying, we know everything, we're the best. We change our services all the time.
Oh, yeah. No. There's one thing that I was thinking of when I was actually crawling underneath, grabbing this rat.
Yeah. How much money you should charge them?
That too. No. We're actually charging them pretty good. But, the other thing that I was thinking is how many guys would be doing this, and the second that they looked back there said, nope, sorry, can't do it. You got to clean everything out.
I would say you'd be surprised how many would say that.
Oh, I know. That's the thing. Like,
I would say a good at least 5 out of 10 technicians, maybe even 6 out of 10 would be like, look, I don't know about this guy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it crossed my mind. It absolutely crossed my mind. But then I realized, wait, you know what? How many more people, could jump on because of this?
Yeah.
They see me behind there in their gas station. They're going to talk to other gas stations. Mm-hmm. I know they have family that owns other gas stations.
Easy now.
No, I'm just saying, I guarantee it. Okay. And now, because of that, they're going to say, hey, you got to call this dude. He's crazy. He was underneath pulling everything out, grabbing garbage. I filled up an entire garbage can full of junk. I mean, even the wife was just
and the junk was a nest.
It was a nest. Yeah. It was tore up, all these cups. But I mean, you have to go that extra distance. Have to. Yeah. But most guys would say, no, I ain't doing that.
I know. And it's sad. And you know what? I'm going to get fired up again, but we're a little down the road in this podcast. What's our next topic?
Well, honestly, that was it. Great. So, why we're the best? We're recession proof. We're pandemic proof. We have a high satisfaction rate.
Very high.
It's huge.
And real quick, and if you're not, find a new job, please.
Oh yeah, if you're not getting it from your clients, if you're not having good conversations, if they haven't thanked you, you're more than likely, you need to get out of the industry. But job security, that goes right back to recession proof and pandemic proof. Yeah. Of course it's job security. We're not going anywhere. Yeah. Now maybe the better technicians that are doing more work, that are doing it better, more efficiently, are probably going to push out the ones that aren't. So your job security is a lot lower. Yeah. The guys that aren't doing it. But
I would say if you're busting your butt off and if you're doing the best you can, every house, every stop, your job security is through the roof.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not going anywhere. I don't think any company is going to fire someone for getting the job done right.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, they'd be stupid.
Yeah.
They'd be stupid
dumb.
too.
And then if they do that, it's probably better because they didn't deserve you. You get a better company.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then the money and the benefits behind it. It's great money, especially at least here in California, once you do step up from an applicator to a branch 2. Yeah. If anyone's out of California and they don't know that, yes, there's different licenses. Mm-hmm. There's 5 different licenses you can get. Yeah. Applicator, branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, and then operator.
And I'm a branch 2 structural pest control technician. Yep. Yeah. In case you guys are wondering.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Throw it out there.
I might be flexing a little bit.
Yeah, but if you have a branch 2, that's when your pay really goes up. Yeah. An applicator,
I know,
unfortunately, doesn't get a lot of money out here.
Yeah.
But there's nothing holding them back to where they can't go get that license.
Just one stupid test, at least in California.
And that's the awesome thing. Actually, now going back to some of the benefits behind it, that's one of the great things about this industry is you just have to take a test. Yeah. You don't have to go and do, 100 hours of whatever. That's not what this requires.
Well, this is a different topic for another day. but I think they should switch up how people get into the industry. But for the time being,
oh, it's absolutely flawed.
Yeah.
100%. I agree
terrible.
with you 100%. But while it's this way, let's take advantage of it.
yeah,
Because those guys out there that only have an applicator's license, you can jump right into getting a branch 2 and really changing everything up, very quickly, and to get a lot more pay.
yeah,
From a lot of different companies once you do have those that branch 2. And just so you guys know, the difference between an applicator and a branch 2 license, one, you can literally only treat. You cannot identify, you can't even change your treatment.
yeah,
Where the other one in California, you can actually identify the bugs, you can change your treatment, you can customize it to that house. And that's why the money's in the branch 2, not necessarily in the applicator.
yeah.
So.
I do wonder how different it is in each state. I wonder how they change it all up. But I guess that's
That's a good question. I have no idea.
That's a whole nother thing to jump into, isn't it?
Yeah. We'd have to do some research on that.
Well, I don't know. We have listeners. We see the stats, and no one's yet to reach out to us. So, I mean,
are you calling them out?
Yeah, I am actually. Again, I'm always calling people out. Like, why freaking call us, man? Let's get you on here and come talk with us or something. I want to hear, and I said it like 10 times already on the podcast, I want to hear from other states.
Yeah, guys, honestly, call us up. Call us out.
Even though I do think 98% of our listeners are in California.
Yeah, well, and we have some foreigners. But hey, if you guys speak Spanish, I got you. Call me.
Yeah. You could plug it. Different episode, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, if you guys are speaking Spanish or anything like that, I do speak Spanish.
Let them know in Spanish so people get how fluent you are in it.
Okay. Entonces, si hablan español, pueden marcarme o, de hecho, mandarnos un mensaje de correo o lo que sea. Pero si hablo español, entonces si quieren hablar en el podcast o quieren hablar en español en su país, mándanos un mensaje.
And you heard it there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, guys, we got you.
Yeah.
English and Spanish.
Yeah. Bilingual.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's not the only thing that's bi between the DNA podcast.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
We're bipedal.
What does that even mean?
It means we have 2 feet.
Oh. You got me. I didn't know that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening in on why the pest control industry is the absolute best.
And it is.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, this is Anthony, and here's a quick reminder. We want to hear from you, whether you're a technician, owner, or operator. We want to hear your stories, whether it's a horror story on the field, a funny story with the client, or just something straight up crazy or weird you've seen. And how can you do this, you ask? Well, our email is dnapestpodcast@gmail.com. That's DANDA pestpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us at Twitter and direct message us there at DNA Pest Podcast. That is D, the letter N, A, Pest Podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Or you can reach out directly through our website at dnapodcast.com. That's DANDA podcast.com. We want to hear from you, so let's hear it.